Are you thinking to look for a piano teacher right now? Maybe you did have it in the past. Maybe you are with a great teacher right now, lucky you. Or you may want to look for one in the future. This topic of how to find good piano teacher is quite an interesting topic. In this video, I actually want to give you a perspective, being a piano student for a long time, and now being a piano teacher as well. So maybe that gives you some idea to where to navigate yourself when you are in need of looking for a piano teacher. I had 6 different piano teachers in my life, and everyone was so different in their style and their personality. I can honestly say to you that one was better than the other. I know internally I was so lucky to have each of them in the right timing in my life to give what they given to me. Before I get to this common theme between them, I want to ask you, who was the best teacher in your life, regardless the field? And what did they do to make you to feel that way? For me, each of my teachers in my past, they were encouraging and inspiring and really believed in my potential more than I could. With my first piano teacher that I started when I was 4 years old, I went to this piano institute every single day for 30 or 40 minutes, and the location was very close to my house, so I could walk from my home alone. And I remember she was being very motherly and warm and really encouraging, and I remember having a lot of fun making music with her. She definitely helped me to just enjoy music and have fun. And then I had 2 different teachers in between. But this teacher I had in high school, and we talked a lot about life and a lot of philosophical concepts as well. And maybe one can say that was not directly related to music, but looking back on it, it was all related to music. She laid a great foundation for me to have a holistic approach to music. You have to be a healthy person in order to create a healthy music, and that kind of looking at the life and looking at the music, it's kind of intertwined, and I'm really thankful for that. So for me, good piano teacher, first of all, is very encouraging, yet has a great long vision for your journey of piano, and become a really great guide and step maybe 3 or 5 steps ahead of your study and really lead you to the path that you don't even know it's possible in your perception right now. So good piano teacher would understand and know how to put you in the right level. If that is too difficult, it will be too challenging and you will be discouraged. If that's too easy, there will be, you may lose motivation. So I think it's really important to position yourself with a teacher's guide, hopefully, that is not terribly difficult, not terribly easy, but hopefully with the feedback from this teacher that you can see what kind of steps you can make to reach that next level. Good teacher have a great communication skill that have a best interest in your growth. So how can we find this teacher? A lot of people do use Google. I don't think that's not a bad place to start. Just try to Google, find piano teacher in your area. Of course, right now with this COVID-19, most of teachers are online, so I guess the location doesn't even matter. But I will start with this website called mtna.org, where you can search by your address or zip code. The reason I recommend people to go to find teacher through this organization is that those teachers that invest in their learning and lifelong learning to be a better teacher, more likely to be a good teacher. Honestly, a lot of things are done by referral. So your local piano stores or piano technicians, or when you go to this MTNA and find president of this local piano groups and just drop a line, or even university professors in your area and ask, do you know who is a good piano teacher? There's always groups for amateur pianists in your area. Then start from there. Post question, what is your recommendation for piano teacher? And that would be also a great place to start. Recently, I wanted to find my primary doctor, and I did my steps just like I said to find a good piano teacher, right? I Googled it, I asked referrals, but I somehow felt referral felt safer and I could trust that better. So I had maybe 5 different primary doctors that I wanted to contact, and I contact all 5 of them, and they all have a waiting list. So thinking myself as well, I have a waiting list for my students. I don't teach a lot of students, but I have a very selective list of students, and my waiting list is about 2 or 3 years actually. So it will be similar for some piano teachers in the area who is a good piano teacher might have a long list of waiting list, but you can always ask though. Let's say you found 3 different potential teachers that you want to reach out. When I say 3, I actually mean it. Even if you are more than sure about one particular teacher is the best than the other, but I will still, just to make sure, have 2 other potential teachers to meet. Even if this is online instruction, I will still have introduction, interview, discussion session. Even if you have to pay for it, that is worth it. Imagine you're gonna have years to come to have a relationship with this teacher, and you don't want to jump into this particular relationship that you are not sure of. I personally never accept any students without going through rigorous interview sessions, and after that I will have temporary lessons for a while until I actually accept the students or they become in the waiting list. So this is very mutual decision. You have to see if this teacher is the right fit for you, and teacher has to agree also if this is the right fit for them. During that meeting, you will meet to this person, how they talk, what is the environment like, what kind of piano they teach on, and what kind of communication is going. It's very intuitive kind of decision. At this point, let your gut to decide if this teacher seems to be right for you or not. Don't overthink it. So that chemistry between 2 people matching or not is very mutually, you can tell, and you can intuitively tell if this teacher would be right for you. I will highly recommend for you to think about your goal is taking piano lesson. Even if you don't know, maybe ask the right question to teacher, what could I dream by taking lessons in this level or something, But from that kind of conversation, you can discover a lot of things. Maybe they actually want to major in piano, or maybe they're very much more interested in improvisation and jazz instruction. Then I might just have to refer some other place. Or how serious they are. Can you practice every single day, or this is just kind of a hobby and you're not that serious? And each teacher also looking for a student that is right match for them, depending on what you wish to learn from your piano instruction. So I think it's really great to have open communication during this meeting, that what you would like to learn and also what this teacher is specialized and would like to be best fit for this particular students. Of course, you can always tell someone is easygoing or seems to be organized or very strict. For example, there are a lot of Russian school teachers that can be a lot more strict and has a way of introducing a concept very particular way. Another aspect that I find as a teacher is really important is to emphasizing sharing music. Do this teacher hold a recital regularly? or if it's not regularly, how this teacher encouraged students to share music. For me, I think having a recital or having some way of sharing music or encourage them to do is one of the important steps to learn piano, and also shortcut to improve their skills. So you might be a little more reluctant right now to going to that track, feel a little insecure without having this teacher yet. But I encourage you to choose teacher who will push you and encourage you to play in front of people. So for my university, master's and doctorate years, I lived in Korea at the time, and I was going to go to Indiana University for master's. And, I could not possibly have a lesson then or meeting. There was no Zoom or anything like that. So at that time, every teacher in this school has amazing bios. So I cannot possibly choose based on their credibility. What I did then was really looking for if there was any performance of them playing. But I actually talked to a lot of fellow students that were studying with particular teacher, and not one, but many of them. And graciously, they shared their experience, and that was very helpful for me to navigate right teacher for me. I could internally tell that some of them are not right for me. So afterwards, when I chose my teacher, and I found out that was indeed true. So I think talking to a fellow student who is already studying or studied in the past is a great resource for you to find out the style of this teacher and just to sense that is right fit for you or not. So in my experience of my own piano teacher in the past, or looking at other amazing teachers as well, they are not necessarily great performer. Sometimes they are amazing performer though, but that's a more rare case. I find that performer not necessarily is a great teacher not necessarily doesn't have to be a great performer. Those are two different set skills. However, great performer can demonstrate but may not be able to articulate. But great teacher may not understand some struggles a performer has, not being a concert pianist and whatnot. So there are some pros and cons, but if you're looking for a piano teacher, don't really think that they must be or they should be a great performer. I really believe that great teacher will be able to mold you into even better pianist than they could be. Piano teacher and student relationship is based on trust. In this process of making music, I find that students have to open up. Teacher has to also open up to give this instruction, and students just follow and believe, and knowing that this instruction is the right way to go. But in this communication, I find that it's healthy to be able to question it. In my higher education especially, I always ask why. Why do I have to play this section this way? And what if I do opposite way? Or what if I, so a lot of this discussion, a lot of discovery-oriented instruction, rather than this is how it is, you do this. Very instructive, one-way channel. And if you question it, and maybe teacher may take it personally or something. So you want to find, it's hard to tell at the beginning, but you want to find the teacher that you can openly question why and be able to have a great discussion, even if there's no right answer. And but that's how you build a trust between teacher and student by discovering together in this journey of music. Lastly, also want to mention that my doctorate degree piano teacher would not be a right fit to teach this 4-year-old student. And I actually don't know how she could even, I don't think she can teach that. Or she never mentioned about piano scales or necessarily or music theory. that was so finely divided at that point, or I already learned my scales and things like that. But if you're a beginner, and especially this is not institution kind of situation, I might actually bring up that how is this music theory is a part of the curriculum? If not, how can I learn this on my own? Or is a piano technique such as scales, arpeggio, chords progression, and things like that is a part of the curriculum? If not, do you think it's important for learning piano? In my opinion, yes, you need all of that, but this might not be a part of the piano lessons per se, but I think a good piano teacher will know how to supplement this area by referring to, competition teacher, or taking this course online, or let's follow this book together, or, but I think this is a good way for you to think about in advance. Especially if you're a beginner, that's important for you to understand as you move forward as a pianist. But there's no one perfect piano teacher. I find that although they're all amazing in their own way, I cannot say this is the best teacher ever to you, So whatever your teacher you have right now might be the best one for you. But also at the same time, this is a relationship. Hopefully it's a deep relationship. You don't want to change often, but there might be some time that you may need to change teacher. And I hope that all the students, even including my students, can openly discuss about possibility without hard feelings. And it's all about your growth and musical journey. And share with your best piano teacher experience, maybe not the best piano teacher experience with me as well. You can always more videos that I become on teacher mode, talking about practice tips and whatnot in this here. And I will see you next video. 안녕!